Hi billionaire traders. In this video, I'll be showing you how you can use Trendline and how best you can use them to your advantage. It's going to be a full course, a full package video, and I recommend you watch it with your writing materials. But before I go further, I would like to give kudos to those who are subscribed to this channel, who have taken us to 100 subscribers in no time. In fact, this is quite encouraging. It shows that you're getting value in my video. It's a good sign that I'm not wasting my time here, and I promise to always show up here with quality content like this. So if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Gordon Trades. Here is where we simplify trading and to also make your journey in forex trading more easier and make you profitable in no time. So make sure you are not just watching. Like this video, subscribe, and turn up the bell notification so that whenever I come up with interesting quality video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. So let's dive straight into the video. Alright, in this video, we'll be talking about Trendline and how best you can use them to your advantage. This is a full course video. First of all, what is a trend line? Now, a trend line is a charting tool used to illustrate the prevailing direction of price. Alright, meaning that a trend line can show you where price is currently. Alright, another way to understand trend line is to know the direction of the market, whether the market is trending up or is trending down. All right, and you know, when we talk about uptrend or downtrend, we're talking about where price is heading towards. All right, that is the reason why trend line illustrates the prevailing direction of price. Okay, so the word trend line is two words coming together. Trend and line is a line showing you the trend of the market. All right, are we in an uptrend or in a downtrend? So a trend line helps you identify the market environment that you are trading in. If I'm in an uptrend environment, I should be looking for buys. And if I'm on a downtrend environment, I should be looking for sells. All right. So in this course, I will also be showing you how to draw a trend line effectively. Most traders don't know how to draw trend line, but if you follow through to the end of this video, you will understand how to draw trend line effectively. You also understand the characteristics of a trend line, all right, and the benefit of trend line. So this course is a full package itself. I don't expect you to skip this video. Make sure you watch to the end and leave me with a comment if there's something you want me to talk about after this video. So let's go in now. How do you draw a trend line? Good. Number one, we draw a trend line from week to week. Now, if you look at this illustration here, we draw trend line from week to week. This candle here is the body. Then here up here is the week, right? So if you are drawing trend line, you need to connect the week together. From this week to this week to this week, you need to connect them together, right? That is how you can draw a trend line. All right. If I connect from week to body, then I'm not drawing it perfectly. I violated the rules of a trend line. Why? Because if I'm picking from week, I should be picking from week to week, not from week to body. All right, that is violation, right? And number two, ways of drawing trend line is from body to body. If I don't want to pick from week to week, I can pick from body to body. Did you see that? If I move from week to body, that means I will be getting another trade bias. And trend line is a powerful tool that can help you get into a trade or exit a trade. I will show you as to move on. All right. So one thing you want to know how to draw trend line effectively is to connect the week together, week to week and body to body. All right, let's move on. So what are the characteristics of a trend line? So sorry, this should be the rules of a trend line, not characteristics. All right. What are the rules of trend line? Number one rules of trend line is a trend line must touch at least 2 weeks, which another word for weeks is tops or 2 troughs. Another name for troughs is bottom. All right. What does that mean? What I mean is, now in an uptrend, all right, in an uptrend, this here is regarded as top, right? And this here is the bottom, right? So now the top here, another word for top is called wick. This is the wick. Another word for bottom is called trough, right? Now a valid trend line must touch at least 2 connecting dots together, right? It must touch two of this wick together. If I draw from wick to wick or body to body, did you understand? So the characteristics or the one of the rules. So one of the rules of trend line is it must touch two wicks or two troughs. Did you see that? That is when you will know that your trend line is valid. All right. Now let's move on. Another rule is that a trend line must pass relevancy test, meaning it must be relevant to the current market price. Now, by this diagram, you will notice that price is currently here. This is the top, this is the bottom, right? And my trend line is on top of the current price. So this is the current market price. All right, did you see that? So it's letting me know that we are currently on this price, which is 3.18934. So it must pass relevancy test. I don't have to draw my trend line like this. If I put it here, I'm not getting it right because this price here is different from this price here. Now, what is the price here? 3.08618. If I bring it here, is what? 3.18531, right? So now I'm on the current market price here. So letting me know that my trend line is valid. Did you see that? I must make sure that my trend line is showing the current market price. Now, in terms of touching the relevancy test, all right, there are times that you will have a market trend that goes in an uptrend, all right, and you have price come this way. Did you see that? Now, how do you now draw this type of trend line? Now, this one, for example, here is a fake out. All right. So connecting my dot, my trend line week to week, if I do this way, right, I'm not drawing a perfect trend line. Why? Because this particular price, though it broke above this resistance, later came in. Did you see that? It later came back into this zone and came back to the resistance. Did you see that? Now, let me show you. Boom. Did you see? All right. So this is a relevancy test. Did you see that? So sometimes when you have a chart like this, you don't have to draw your trend line this way. All right. Because this price here, this price here went out and came back in and came to retest the initial support on resistance. All right. So this is a fake breakout. This is a fake breakout. So trend line, as we move on, you get to understand that trend line can be used as support and resistance. All right. Now, this type of resistance is a diagonal resistance. Did you see that? So the trend line, so the price broke above this trend line and came back inside the zone again. Right. So it didn't go back. It didn't go out again. So it stopped on the resistance. All right. And they are of equal heights. Yeah. Did you see that? So that means my trend line is now valid. So this is an example of a downtrend. So this is how to draw a good trend line. Make sure you are drawing it to touch the relevancy test, to pass the relevancy test. Why? Because why am I drawing it to touch here? Because this is where the current market price is. This is where the price is before we have this downtrend. Did you see that? The price is no more here. All right. So, but if you have something like this, if you had something like the price touch back this trend line and go back up, then you have another type of trend line to draw. Did you see that? So sometimes if price does something like this, then you now say you have a flip zone. All right, this is getting more technical, but let's just not get into that. When we get into support and resistance fully, I'll be explaining to you how to understand flip zone, initial resistance turning into support. But I just want you to know how to draw a trend line and make sure it passes this relevancy test, right? So that is number 2 rules of how you can draw an effective trend line. So, but what are the benefits of trend line? Number one, it can serve as support and resistance, just like what we have here. Did you see that? This is an uptrend, all right? So price moved from high, all right, okay? You do see that? So price broke above this level and came back. Did you see that? So here we have resistance, resistance, resistance. Then we had the breakout. Did you see that? And came back as a support. That is what the trend line can do for you. Number two, it can be used as part of confluence for trade entry or exit. All right, let's say I'm a breakout trader, breakout and retest, and spotting trend like this. When I see the market behaving this way, I could just put my trend line, all right, and wait for price. All right, maybe I want to buy. So I'll be waiting for price to break above this trend line. All right, once I see a breakout of this trend line, this particular trend line, I'll wait for a retest of it. Then I will take my buy here. So trend line can be used as a confluence. Did you see that? So this trend line have served as a confluence for me to be able to take a buy trade. That is quite simple. Did you see that? So one of the things Trendline can do for you is to help you to add to your confluence, and I'm sure you understand the meaning of confluence. Those things you want to see play out before you actually venture into entering a particular trade. It's called confluence. All right. So let's go into the right chart. Let's go and spot it out. Now this is a weekly time frame of Euro USD. All right. Now, like I said, number one thing that trend line shows where the price is heading towards. All right. Now, if you look at this market now, price is heading up. This is a live trade right now. Now, price is heading up, but it helps us to know the types of market we are in. So if you are to look at, probably want to do your top-down analysis for you to know the environment you are really trading in. Trend line can also help you. If I look at it now, if I draw from this high to this low, you will see that the market, we are in what? Overall downtrend, all right? Currently, the overall trend of Euro USD is on a downtrend, all right? Now, and we just had a breakout. You can see this breakout. So once these breakouts occur and come back as a retest, all right, and break above this high, then that means we have moved from what? A downtrend to an uptrend. You can see what trend line can do for you. A trend line can help you know how to take trade and how to place trade. Did you see that? That is what trend line can do for you. If you do not know how to place your trend line, how to draw them, you will be taking the wrong setup. All right. So right now, we've had a breakout of this trend line. Did you see that? And you'll be waiting for a retest of it before you take a buy. Did you see? Very quite easy. Now, look at the way I drew my trend line. I mark it from the week to the week. Did you see? This is the week. I mark it from the week to the week. Right. If I'm picking body, I have to put it on body to body. Did you see that? But for me, I just like picking the weeks, all right? Because while we are on weekly time frame, we want to pick the week of a candle on the weekly time frame, we form a body of another candle on the daily time frame or 4 hour time frame. If you come to 4 hour time frame, you will see now. You will see that it's forming the body. So on the 4 hour time frame, this is your daily. We already had a break and retest. Did you see that? So the market trend has moved from a downtrend to an uptrend. Did you see that? And like I said, trend line can also help you know how to place trade. Now, this is what we have here now. I said trend line can also serve as a support and resistance. So this is a diagonal support. All right? This is diagonal resistance. So yeah, this diagonal resistance here has turned to support. How? The market broke above the trend line and came back to it as a support. Did you see? Then we have this impulse. That is what trend line can do for you. Did you see? This is support. So if you had bought this from this zone, you are still being profit. Let's say you buy here, your stop loss will just be below this support. Did you see that? And you are targeting the next high. The next high, which is this. Did you see? Your target will just be the next high, which is this level here. Cool. So this is how to use trend line to take trades. So if you do not know how to effectively use your trend line, you won't know how to take quality setup in the market, right? You can use this trend line on anything. Let's look at Bitcoin. All right, so this chart is Bitcoin chart, and this is 4-hour time frame. So let's do as if we want to place a trade. I want to use trend line strategy. Okay, now once I come on my charts, what I want to do is I want to look at where is the market trading towards now. Right now, you can see that initially Bitcoin was trending up. All right, we have this break up, higher low, right? Then now price is currently what's ranging. So this is a ranging market. Did you see that? This is a ranging market. Now, how do you do that? You can draw a box here. You can draw a box to represent, for you to know that it's a ranging market. Did you see that? But if you look at it initially, so a ranging market is telling you that the price is balancing. You have equal numbers of buyers and sellers in the market. So they are neither pushing price upward or downward, all right? So how do you do this? I can pull my trend line this way. Did you see that? You can see I'm touching the week to week, right? Week to week. Then I can mark from here as well. Then I pick this one like this, all right? I can pick this one, or I can even choose to pick from here this way. Did you see that? So whichever one that best suits you, just make sure you are touching where price is. You can see it's marking the relevancy test. It's passing the relevancy test. This is where the current market price, as in this is the direction of price right now. Price have left this zone, all right? Price have left this zone. Now we are here. So you place your trend line on top of that high. You can say from a week to another week. Do you see that? And this is another week. This is another week. You see that? All right. So now, right now, what will I be waiting for? I'll be waiting for price to break out of this trend line. Remember the breakout and retest strategy. Once price break out of this trend line rather, and come back for a retest, I'll be waiting to take what? A buy. Did you see? Very quite easy. If you look at this price in this market now, quite easy. So this is a setup. So this is a trend line strategy. If you understand the strategy, you can become profitable in no time. So you don't need to jump from one strategy to another. Just master one strategy and apply it to any instrument you want to trade, be it currency pair, indices, commodities, oil, whatever, Bitcoin, you can use it. Now, once I see a break below, what I'll be doing is that I will just be looking for a buy. Did you see? And this could be your swing trade because it's 4-hour time frame. Right, then my stop loss will just be below this zone, right? And if this did not happen, let's say price breaks below this trend line, break out of this trend line, I'll wait for a retest. Did you see? Then boom, my next target will be this high here, this low here, right? Why? Because after a confirmation of price coming to retest this what? Resistance, then my next location where price is coming to is this level here. And I will be willing to just take a sell straight up. Boom. Did you see that? So this is one of the best way you can milk the market with just a trend line. All right. Either trend line break and retest or trend line bounce. All right. Now, how do you trade with trend line bounce? Let's say price, you have trend line like this. So this is how you trade a trend line bounce. All right. So right now, you see, what do we have here? This is a bounce. Price touched this trend line, it bounced to the downside. Did you see that? So this is the first bounce. This is second bounce. Do you see? And this is the third bounce. Did you see? And price, so you already knew that the moment price touched this trend line, what happened? Sell or call. So this could be what? A supply zone. All right, and you probably price got here, you're coming out from this zone. All right, and this I will show you on the chart. Did you see that? So whenever price gets here, what are you doing? You are taking a what? Sell. You are taking sell. Price gets here, you are taking sell. When price gets here, you are taking sell. Did you see that? When price gets here, you are taking a sell. Did you see that? And the moment price gets here, what happened to? You're taking a buy. So did you see how you can even use your trend line to take trade either breakout and retest or supply and demand. This is called supply and demand. So when price gets here, you are taking a what? A buy trade. This is how to make money in the market with just trend line strategy. I teach this for a fee, but I'm giving it for free on YouTube. Did you see that? I'm taking a buy here. I'm taking a buy here. Also taking a buy here. Did you see that? So if you can spot this in the market, trust me, you'll become profitable in no time. Now let me show you one live trade that I'm on right now with this my trend line strategy. So good. This is GJ, right? This is GJ. You can see what I did. I saw that price was bouncing on this trend line. This is first touch. All right. So it got here again, rally around this. Then what we have price broke below this trend line. Did you see that? It broke below it and came back to retest it. Did you see? It came back what? For a retest. So I saw that we're having weak rejection here. All right. Then price sold down, came back again, and I saw a what? A rejection, right? Of price. Rejection to the upside. Then that was why I had to pull this box here. All right. If price had broken above this zone, what will I be doing? I'll be waiting for a retest back to this as a support. Then I'll be looking for a what? A buy trade. But this did not occur. Rather, what happened? Price failed to break above this support. Did you see that? Price failed to break above this support. Rather, then that was why I was able to see that this market can be a downtrend. Okay, let me take out this. Now, let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, boom, what did I see? Did you see that? Price failed to break above this level of what? Support. Did you see that? Now, what we have, the moment price got here, what happened? There was a weak rejection. Then that is the reason why I was able to take a sell on GJ. And my take P is here. And this is over 1:6 risk to reward. All right. And this is a swing trade. So this is how you can take a trade early enough. Early enough. What happened? We had a breakout and a retest. And price failed to break above that zone. Price failed to break above price failed to break above this high. Yeah, did you see that? So here now we have lower highs. You see? So the moment I will not wait, the moment I'm on this trade, the moment I see price break below this zone again, I will go in with more setup. All right, did you see? The moment I see price break below this zone, come back for a retest, then I will go in with more trade setup. And you know how market moves. Lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. So upon my lower high, I'll be stacking in more trades. I'll be stacking in more what? More trades. More open trades. Do you see? I'll be stacking in more positions. So this is how you can use Trendline to your advantage. This is how you can use Trendline to your advantage. So on one setup alone, you could have made more than 1:20 R. And this is how you can pass your profit with one setup. All right. So make sure you back test it before you forward test it with live money, okay? And this strategy has been proven to be at least 70% profitable. And this is what I'm using right now to be in this particular trade. You can see, and it's moving smoothly. It's moving smoothly. And I'll be going in with more trade the moment price break below this low, yeah? I'll be entering in more positions. All right. So I believe you are able to catch it, you're able to understand how to use trend line, the characteristics of a trend line. Trend line can be used as a support and resistance, either diagonally or horizontally. And you can see how I was able to use trend line to place trade, live trade. And this is something that I've been doing over time. This strategy works all the time. And I want you to back test it well enough so that you can use it to your own advantage, okay? And don't just jump from one strategy to another. Once you find what is working for you, make sure you fine-tune it to your own perfect understanding and start applying it. First, it's quite easy. Don't complicate anything. I tried it on Bitcoin, you could see, and the moment price break either up or down, I'll be going in for what? A trade. And this is how I've been able to milk the market steadily, week in, week out. And this is how you become profitable in no time. Thank you for staying tuned. If you watch to this very end, make sure you like and leave me a comment. Let me relate with you to tell me what video you'd like me to do next, and I'll be doing that video after this one. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Catch you.